Hello there, it's Polly Brennan here from 𝗥𝗘𝗧𝗕𝗔𝗚𝗦 Coaching. How are you? So this short video today is all about me sharing with you the principles and beliefs that I hold as a life coach and how they help me to help people when I'm coaching, and also how they help me in life. And I think in order to be helpful to people, it's really important that you can help them to find ways to view things and ways to think that are helpful to them. And so all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to share with you some of these core beliefs I hold and how I think they can apply in life. So here we go. Let me begin. You cannot make a mistake, just a decision for now. So imagine at those times of decision points in life where there's a lot of perhaps anxiety around what's the right choice and what's the wrong choice. It's really important to remember that all there is a choice based on what you know now. And when you know different, you can do different. So sometimes you just have to make a good choice for now. This is a lovely one. Each moment describes who you are and gives you a choice and an opportunity to decide who you want to be and how you want to show up. So every moment in our life we can choose how we want to show up. And also how we do any one thing is how we do everything. So really trying to be how we want to be all the time in every situation can help us to choose and decide how to be. The only change is constant. The only constant is change. I've said that the wrong way round. That's a really interesting idea because sometimes we can feel very stuck and we can feel in a problem zone and we can feel like nothing is going well and everything's really, really problematic. And when you're busy noticing the problems, that's all you'll notice. I mean, you're thinking about the problems and doing them. But in some respects, it's helpful to imagine that actually it's virtually impossible for things not to change and for things not to be different. At any given time, something will have changed. It might not be that the problem's gone, but it might be that the problem's less around or less distressing. So change is inevitable. Even at a cellular level, our bodies are changing all the time. Change is happening in the universe, in our bodies. So change is constant, and our job is to notice the changes that are happening. And if we can get busy noticing, sometimes just even small changes can be really significant. So let's remember that change is constant. Okay, so all experiences that we have in life are an opportunity for growth. So in everything that happens to us, good and bad, is a chance to grow. So we might be at our comfort zone, that'll help us to stretch and gain confidence. We might be in a tricky situation, but again, through that we'll learn and grow. We'll learn something valuable along the way. So every experience we have is an opportunity to learn. And if we can take that forward, it means that when things don't go so well, we can remember that it is there to teach us something and to help us grow in some way. And then your job later on is to work out what it is that situation was there to teach you. And I think a really closely connected one is that allegedly every person that we meet is our teacher and our student. So everyone that we meet with had some impact in some way on them. And also that everyone that we meet can teach us something about life, about a mindset, about ourselves. And our job is just to stop and notice what it is that we're learning from that person. And that can be quite helpful, particularly when you're dealing with people who can be difficult, is to imagine that they actually are there to teach you something about yourself. It might be they can teach you how strong you are. It might be that they can teach you how to use your voice. It might be that they can teach you how to be patient, contained. Who knows? Only you know. Okay, life is a perfect adventure. That's another one for you. It's a game. It cannot be won or lost, just played. Okay, so life's just there to play. Okay, which one will I share with you now? What about another one? This is a great one. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. So think of a scenario where you felt upset and distressed. Because things do happen that are upsetting. At that time, you might have to accept that you're in a situation that is creating pain but also you can choose not to suffer. And if you can choose not to suffer, don't suffer. You don't have to be a victim to that situation. You can choose not to suffer, but also accept that there's some pain associated with that situation. That's been quite a valuable one for me. Also, energy attracts like energy. So the energy that we have within us we will be attracted to people with a similar energy. So so that makes sense. We'll be connected to people with similar mindsets, to similar attitudes, similar interests. So that's a really interesting one. We're also apparently the product of 5 people we spend most time with. You've probably heard that already. So choose wisely, because that will influence your energy. Truth is power. So knowing your truth gives you power in life. We're all here for a special purpose. So we're all here, you might believe or might not, that we're all here in the world to do something, and our job is to work out what it is we're here to do. So I've got another one for you. We each have a higher coach within us. So when we talk about the higher coach, I guess to me that makes sense in terms of intuition. So your wise self. So within us we have a wise self. And our wise self usually knows. It's like your gut, isn't it? So when you're in a situation and you have a gut feeling, trust it. It's your wise self or your coach and you telling you, and it's important to listen. Okay, what else? We are all a product of our own self-belief system. So that's a really important one, isn't it? Because however we think, our thoughts and feelings will influence our actions, and that will influence our personality, and that will influence our reality. So we're all a product of our belief system, and we can choose to think and believe differently, and we can try on new beliefs. And sometimes we need a bit of help with that, because that can be a challenge, especially those things in life that you thought for a long, long time, those ways of thinking that have grown up with you. But it can be done, okay? Right, what else? Okay, a really lovely one for me is the idea that the answers always lie within. This is a really great one. So one of the things I love about working alongside people is that I'm not the expert, and I'm not the consultant, and I'm not there to tell them. How can I be an expert on someone else? How can anybody be an expert on someone else? Because, no one will know your story like you do. You're an expert in your own story. So how can someone else give us the answers? And when I'm working alongside people, what I love is that my job there in that situation is to help people find the answers themselves. And there's no right or wrong, so it's just the right answer at the right time for them. That's another one that really, really fits for me. Our true level of awareness is directly related to not judging. So lack of judging and awareness are really connected, and we are all prone to judgment. Sometimes we're judging other people, and sometimes we're judging ourselves. And often the judgments that are hardest are judgments on ourselves. And when we're judging ourselves, it's right or wrong. And sometimes in that process, when we're in a right or wrong, it's somebody's going to win and someone's going to lose. So true awareness is directly related to not judging. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones I want to share with you before I go, because there's some lovely ones. I suppose a nice one to finish on is perhaps just to say that now is all there is. The past's been, we can't change it. We can change the story about the past. We can decide to give ourselves a powerful story about what our past's been all about. And it can be a story about who we are now and how we're going to be in the future. But essentially the past has been. The future, it doesn't exist yet, does it? It's not in our grasp just yet, but we can aspire towards certain things. But right now, that's completely within our control. So let's get really busy in the now, thinking about what we want to be, who we want to be, what we want to be doing, and what sort of legacy we want to leave behind. So that's a nice one to finish on. So I've just been sharing with you some of the core beliefs I have that help me when I'm coaching and help me as a person, and help other people that I work alongside. Thank you very much for listening